All right, so welcome back to our series with the PMDG and the FDS 777 CDU. Pretty pumped about this. It's been sitting there, like I said in the other video, it was sitting idle for a couple months. I wanted to get some of the other stuff done with my air hauler series. I had some real world flying to do. I had all kinds of things, not to mention, work and all the trade shows I have to attend. Busy, 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 busy. All right. So here we're going to jump into this and we are going to do a flight to Toronto. So let's hop into our main record. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm capturing the screen and layering it on top, meaning the CDU display, I'm leaving it on top by just capturing it in OBS. My hand can unfortunately disappear underneath it, but I thought this would be much better than trying to read the display off of the top, but still be able to see the button presses and what line select keys and where things are going. So a little bit weird, but it is what it is. All right, well, let's hop into it. So normally what we would have done is we would have gone to our init. We would have been on our index. We would have had our ident. We would have seen our ident. We would have then gone to position. We could enter our airport and our gate if these were relevant. We can also just grab the GPS position and we would set it to the inertial position, which it currently has because we already did that last time. Otherwise, there would be squares all along the bottom below the inertial position. So we were good to go. Then we come to route and we would type in our origin, CYOW. We typed in our destination. So runway, well, the winds are favoring 3-2 and we just happen to be on 3-2. So let's go ahead and get 3-2 in there. That is our runway, not in database. How is that not in the database? Oops, because I didn't clear that out before typing in 3-2. We see 3-2. Go ahead. Runway 3-2. Awesome. Give ourselves a flight number. Well, we're AC069. It's more like 442 or something, 444, something like that, or 443, whatever it is. CO route, we are good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and activate and hit execute. So now, when we go to the next page, because there's 2 of 2, of course, via nothing. We have no route. So let's go ahead and go to our departure. Click on our departure. We will have a runway 3-2, and you'll notice 3-2 is already selected, and there is one standard instrument departure, and that is the CYOW-4. So we're going to open up Navigraph charts. We're going to go to flights. We are going to create a new flight. And we're going to go with manual input. We'll go with CYOW-CYYZ. Alternate will make, why not, K-buff. We'll alternate to K-buff. Name, yes. Now we're going to use the great feature of auto generate, and we'll go with high airways. Sure, why not? And we will create. So it's going to generate a route for us, and we can go ahead and we'll scroll out. So auto route gave us CYOW direct Torney YYZ. So runways, we are going to go off of 3-2. We are going to use the YOW-4 departure. Then we are going to do an arrival. And since we are going direct to Torney, from Torney, there is the Ragged 4 and the UDN Knox 4. So let's do the Ragged 4. And so the Ragged 4 gives us a whole bunch of different routings because from that, that's just the arrival. We're now going to go into our approach, and we're going to pick 2-4 left, and we could do the ILS as well as we could do the RNAV. But let's do an ILS just for fun. So we'll do the ILS, 24 left. Now it's automatically creating the points for us. Excellent. So we now have our route. Let's hit show route. It backs out and shows us our entire route. Here, what we're also going to do is we're going to go to that departure. All right. And by clicking on it, it'll bring us in. And you can see these little lines. So we want to look at, let's display the chart. So here we are on the chart. So the Ottawa 4 departure, CYOW-4, departure frequency is on 128.17. This would be a good time to enter those frequencies. Without even listening to the ATIS, when you're on the ground, you can put it to field elevation. That'll get you with pretty much what the baro is. Now, of course, they may assign you a different baro that's slightly off because that's just what they are flying with and is in the ATIS. But anyway, all right, our transition altitude is 18,000. That's when we will go to standard pressure. Safe altitude within 100 nautical miles is 7,000 feet, and refer to noise abatement procedures. No left below 1,000 feet when you're going off 1-4. 3,000 MSA OWNDB. On recognition of failure, 10 minutes or less after takeoff of an IFR weather conditions, proceed as follows. On those runways, not us. So on our runway, we would select transponder code 7600. We would then, 5 minutes after selecting 7600, proceed directly on course and climb to flight's planned altitude. Note, if communication failure occurs more than 10 minutes after takeoff, comply with appropriate procedures for communication failure en route. So that tells you what you're supposed to do. 10 minutes or less, you will still climb and go directly on course. Proceed directly on course and climb, because this is a vectors, meaning when we leave here, there is no link up to our transition. You can see the dots out here. We're going to fly straight out. So runway 32, climb heading 320, or as assigned for vectors to assigned route. Jet aircraft maintain 5,000 feet. So we know that we need to set our altitude to 5,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead and dial up 5,000 feet. Now I know that that's where I wish that button would actually be the alt, because this panel, not a real 77, but whatever. That's what I get. So we also want to fly a heading of 320. 320, and so I'm going to arm our heading hold because we want to fly 320 for that heading. Now we could have also hit heading select, and that's our heading select mode. Then we could turn the heading after it updates us, and then when we hit select, it will go. So heading hold by pressing this button is not actually the select button. That's heading hold mode. When that's enabled, it's going to capture whatever heading we're on. If we turn the knob, we still have to enter the heading select. So I've created 3 extra buttons on my panel for doing those. We now have our route. So if we go back to our route, we're good with this. So we're going to go ahead and close that out. We've got our SID. For now, I'm just going to tuck this off screen for my sake so I can read it. And now let's go ahead and let's get into our CDU. We need to jump to our departure. we have selected that. We've selected our departure. For now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into our arrival. So we're going to go YYZ arrival. We are going to choose our star, which is the Tourney Ragged 4. So we want to go to Tourney. Sorry, Ragged 4, 2 left. 2, 4 left, sorry. Transition will be Tourney. We've selected that. And we're going to do the ILS approach into, let's go backwards, get ourselves to the Ragged 4, into 2, 4 left. We are going to go with the ILS 2-4. We're going to go with the Tourney transition. And then transition, etc., I guess. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to our flight plan. And we are going to activate it and hit enter. So we will see that direct to Tourney, then Lisdu, and approach transition Lisdu. So right away, we've got a couple of Lisdus showing up. So the Cetra is actually something that we can get rid of. So if we delete Cetra, it's not going to allow us to delete it here. We're going to go to our legs page. And with our legs page, this is actually where we want to look at the plan view. So if we get in here, make it easier for you guys to see than read off of this. So when we go to our plan view, we will step through. We're going to fly runway heading, and you'll notice at this point is gap, Lisdu, Denka, Emil, Lisdu. And this is where the discontinuity is. Now this is because Cetra is causing us to actually backtrack to Lisdu. So let's grab Lisdu. And it won't let us put it there. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab Lisdu. We're going to go back one page. And we're going to paste Lisdu where Lisdu is. And we are going to execute that. So now, right, it goes Lisdu. Let's step, 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 Emil, Lisdu. And then, boom, Kirex runway 24 left, where we will pick up the glide path. Okay, that is pretty straightforward, and you see it in plan mode. Now we have no more discontinuities. So far our leg is great. All right, let's go to our, this handle does come up. That is so freaking cool, just like the real thing. Cruising altitude, we're going to cruise at, we're going west, so let's cruise at flight level 240. That's going to be our cruising altitude. Execute. Our transition speed should not be more than 250. Excuse you? We shouldn't be more than 250. At 10,000. That's a speed restriction for sure. Thank you. There we go. All right. Oh, I know real people who do this. It's been a while. I've been flying GA. Been a while. Cruising altitude. Yes, 240. Engine out. Any of that information, don't care. Step size RVSM won't matter. We're not going up. And speed 240. Speed restriction. What is it? 170 at So 170 at 5,000? Sure, we'll say 170 at 5,000. And hope for the best. Because top of descent, 203 nautical miles. We may not even get up to 240. That's why. So we've got our VNAV done. So let's go to our route. We're going to now, we got our legs, and it is populating. These are going to be changing constantly, actually. I just realized because we're sitting here running and we didn't enter this data ahead of time. All right, well, whatever. Let's go to routes. Let's go to takeoff page. We're going to do a flaps 5. Let's go to performance. And let's request our information now that we've changed a bunch of this stuff. So request is sent. There it is. We're going to go ahead and we are going to accept it. Let's go to our thrust limit. Let's do a takeoff minus 10%. Excellent. Climb. So an N1 of 95. Beauty. Let's go to our takeoff. Let's request our 34.9. Go ahead and put that in. V speeds unavailable. I hate it when it does this. So takeoff gross weight is, well, that's way off. That's got to be a bug. There's no way we're 4,772. That is wrong. We do not have 4,364 pounds of fuel. We have 179,000 pounds of fuel. 179.0. Sorry. There we go. Now we see a gross weight of 587. This makes way more sense. Thrust limits. That makes sense. Takeoff. 34.8. That makes more sense. Trim of 2.75. There we are. Get our trim down into the right place. Oh yeah, I got to program that. All right, we've got our trim in roughly to the right place. So now we've got V speeds. All right, so our gross weight at takeoff, let's just go ahead and say we're going to be 586 by the time we burn a little bit of fuel. All right, now we've got our V speeds. Let's get our V speeds locked in. V speeds are locked in. Okay, next page. Alternate thrust. Takeoff reference. The wind. Well, this is where the ATIS comes in handy. But we can also just jump into our lovely active sky. 310 at 6. Takeoff speeds will be deleted. Of course they'll be deleted and our outside air temperature was 16 degrees Celsius. So 16 degrees Celsius. Execute. So now we've got all that information. V speeds are re-entered. We are ready to go. We've got all of our switches, anti-ice, everything should be on. Recall RTO. Oh, where did I put the recall button? Where did I put the recall button? Even I don't remember where I put the recall button. Recalled. Good. Check. Flight controls. So we go to our flight control page. Again, I can't remember which one of these I put it on. I have to constantly remind myself. There it is. Elevators going up, going down. Ailerons going up, going down. Spoilers and flaperons also going up and going down. And of course, there is our spoilers. Good. So flaps 5 is set and transitioning. Excellent. Gear handle is down. All right. That is good. Ground equipment is gone. Go to our next normal. Now this, I've never understood why it's doing this, but it pops away on me. And I got to move it back. All right. As soon as I move that checklist. Okay. So it'll be an after takeoff. It's going to be a landing gear up and a flaps up. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get ourselves positioned in. And our V speeds, we're going to set a V2 of 164 plus 10. So we'll go 174 on our V speed. Excellent. All right, well, we'll go 299 for now. Looks good. Flight director goes on. So our flight director goes on. That's on. Everything looks set. We are essentially ready for departure. I'm going to switch back over to my plan so I see it as well. So now we're going to go into map mode and let's get ourselves, yeah, we'll go 20 miles for now. Quick look outside. Oh yeah, we're going with FNNH and the new livery, looking pretty sweet. Now that we have that beautiful view, everything looks great. Let's go ahead. Let's get inside. We now have our power set. We have our, let's go ahead and get to our instrument page. Power up to 40. Power is holding. And we hit toga. All right, thrust reference is set. Heels are going on the floor. Airspeed is alive. Cross check. Airspeed is alive. And 95.1 is set. Thrust is set. B1. We are past rotate speed. So climbing, positive rate of climb, gears going up. We're already going to go to flaps 1. All right, we forgot to look outside to watch the, okay, so we need to climb with a little bit more authority and aggression. So there we are on our climb out. We will be going up to 5,000 feet. And now let's go ahead and get the nose over. Whoa, chased it a little too far. Okay, and go ahead and get our flaps completely up. So we climb up to 5,000 feet. Let's get our trim set accordingly. So we have our altitude set. We have our speed set. And we'll go ahead and get the autopilot on. Autopilot is now set. And at this point, we're going to want to go up. And we want to get our fuel pumps off. Come back down to here. All right, so here, we're probably now, as we're approaching the VOR, and we're climbing to 5,000, we are now going to probably be given a left-hand turn. So we're going to go with a left-hand turn towards Torney. So we're now in our left-hand turn. Heading select mode is enabled. So away we go. All right, so if we go to our legs on our CDU. So now we're going to grab Torney, enter Torney, and execute. So now we're direct to Torney, and we can see that now we'd be able to go into LNAV mode. Now, none of this is getting above 2,000, so this is a little bit of a problem. So let's see if we can get up to flight level 200 for Libum. Valid entry. It's not going to get us up there. So we're going to have to do this manually, I think. We just didn't have the distance, and it didn't like our cruise altitude that we chose. Well, at this point, we are now approaching Torney. We're going to go up to flight level 200, and now we hit altitude select. And our speed has gone up to the 260, so the FMC automatically was able to increase the speed. We're still on auto throttle speed. So let's go flight level change mode, and let's climb with 260. And there we are. Altitude select, flight level change mode, auto throttle, and we're going to climb with 260. Nicely up through that cloud. Look at those engines. Nice, beautiful, active sky clouds. Ooh, did I reinstall the immersion pack? I forget if I reinstalled the immersion pack or not. Uh-oh. That'll be problematic if I forgot to install that. Alright, there we are on the climb out. Let's go ahead and get back inside. There we can manage our speeds and our information. Okay, there we are. We are up to our flight level 200. Let's go ahead and enable VNAV mode. VNAV path is now set. And we're going to see how we do. Okay, so drag is required. We're going to have to throw some spoilers out. Caution. Caution what? Okay, drag is no longer required. And then we're down to 10,000 at our next point. Altimeter will be 2990 and expect the winds at 160 at 8. All right, well, we need to go to our perf page. That's our progress. Flaps, we will do a flaps 25. 158 knots will be the speed. Sounds good. That'll be our approach reference. Thrust takeoff approach. Yes, we'll do that for our approach. That's our alternate departure arrival. So we need to change our arrival. We're going to go 115 right. Blues transition. Execute. Let's go to our legs. What are we on? We are on the Ragged 4. All right, we'll go 15 Bravo. 20 transition. Execute. I know there's a discontinuity, so I got to go to my legs page. And it's still going to be, if we look back, where are we? Where are we right now? Oh, we're going for ragged right now. So let's go ragged. I'm going to go back. I'm going to put ragged to the top. We're going to execute. And now we should be good to go. So we got to get our down to 12,000. And we'll go altitude select. VNAV speed. Okay, why aren't you going for 250 at this point? Well, ragged is still 301. Okay. We are descending. We are coming down through, so we're going to go out of standard. Let's go out of standard. 2990. Good. Okay, so going back to our flight plan, we will change our arrival, or our approach, I should say. 15 left. Select Toxum, sure. ILS 15, no, sorry, I'm on the right. Blows, there we go, my bad. 15 right. We're going to add that to our route. And let's go ahead and look at the chart. All right. So we're on our way down. We'll go ahead and get our lights on. Well, most are on. We'll put our landing light on anyway. Okay. So we're going to get to blues. BLOS, blows, blues, whatever it is. Approach course is 147. All right. So London radio. So our ATIS would be at 120.825. Toronto Tower is 118.3. 110.95. This is going to auto tune those for us. Thank you. Decision height ILS. All right. So we need to be at 3,000 feet at blows. We fly 3,000 feet till we established on the glide slope, and we want to be at our FAF 2010 on the glide slope. So we're going to fly that 3,000 till we pick it up. Then we will go to the descent. We have a decision altitude is 200 feet, 250 if the Hollis is out, and on a localizer 428. So we'll go ahead and we'll set our minimums to radio. And we got a good idea of what we're doing. So radio. We'll set it for 250 for minimums. Come on, get there. I wish I could turn this. I wish they had implemented this correctly. I know this is how it kind of works, but those have a snap knob. $250. Stay there. 2990. We are good. All right, 12,250 on the speed. Speed is coming down. Excellent. And when we look at our range, let's knock it down to the 10-mile mark. There we go. Left-hand turn. Then we're going to go to Tovup. And Tovup is at 10,000. So let's go ahead, set 10,000. And beautiful downtown Toronto with the lovely CN Tower. Caution. Caution. Excellent. Fuel quantity is low. Yep. Fuel quantity is low. I took quite some time getting us off the ground, I think. Not to mention we were flying at a low altitude, burning a lot more fuel. So let's hope we can get on the ground before we run out of fuel and have to declare an emergency and glider in. Luckily, we are descending and thus bleeding off speed like there's no tomorrow. So this is a non-linking ILS, so not a big deal. As we cross, there would be vectors to bloods, or blows, not bloods. Cool. All right, previous page. 220 and 8,000. We have 220 and 8,000. We do not have the fuel for this, Maverick. We do not have the fuel for this. So we better hope that Cougar is able to get himself back onto the deck, because we do not have the fuel to go up and get Cougar. We have the field in sight. We can see the terminal. Obviously, I need to buy the Fly Tampa. I will one of these days. But everything else is so expensive in life. One of these days. And, alright, so 8 nautical miles to Metux. Our descent rate has us going down at a good vertical path. So we are on our V path from Metux. Always remember to hit that altitude sell button. It's right there. I have a button on my gauges specifically for that. Now it wants us to go down to 3,000 altitude select, and you can't see it, ironically, but it's unfortunate. At least this camera is still working. Okay. All right. Let's get back into our 10 nautical mile view. We have traffic off our left. No factor. What did we say it was? What's tower? 118.35. 118.35. We're going to end up going into heading mode. So we're going to intentionally turn left or turn right so that we can make that left-hand turn. Probably would be a no factor at the range, but we... Oh, there you go. Oh. Inbound. All right, so we're going to go into heading select mode at this point. There we go. Coming around nicely. Approach mode. There we go. Let's stay with map for now. Forgot how to change it to an arc. Let's put our VOR in. Okay, so now approach course is 147 degrees. Okay, so we are now turning for blows. So we're going to grab blows. It's in. So then we're going to copy that to our top, modify, execute. So there we go. blows 170. Oh, at this speed, yowzas. We are absolutely wanting to start. Okay, flaps 1. We'll go flaps 1. Message. Drag required. Let's get some drag out. Slow us down. We got. There we go. All right, down to 3,000. And now we can go back to our LNAV. Speed brakes extended. Okay. We're right on flaps 1 speed. That's good. Right on flaps 1 speed. We are now direct blows. We want to be at 3,000. Not sure why the speed is still showing 209. Beauty shot. Okay. That would mean the cabin is secured. Excellent. And landing lights are on. Heat, everything. Okay, all that checks out. Let's Yep, fuel is low. We know. Good enough. No smoking is on. Auto brake is set to 2. And we can now go to approach mode. And approach is armed. So we have approach mode armed as we are on the approach. $2,500. Okay. So at this point, we're going to go. I need to go to flaps 5. Why it is not dropping us down on its own. Drag required. Drag going out. There, now it's getting the speed in. Come on, come on. Let's get under 200. We're good enough. We're below. All right, let's go outside and let's go ahead and bring that gear down. Oh, that's nice. Sweet. All right. 3 green, no red. Okay. We've got dragon. Okay. 170. We are on our speed. And now we need to go down to 2,000. Approach mode. You're at 20. And then we're going to go down to 25. Awesome. Oh, I don't have my markers in. All right, so at this point, I'm going to go into a forward view just because I need to see this. Runway is in sight. We're now fully in approach mode. Autoland 3 is available. Wow. We could just autoland. All right, we are on the glide path. And we are visual. One thousand. Wow, just holding that approach the whole way. Wow, look at that. Beautiful. Approaching minimums. Ooh.
Minimums. 100. 50. 30. 20.
Ah. Push that rudder less off the center line. Reversers are out. Back on the center line. And auto brake is disarmed. Nice. All right, let's get our master caution out and let's get clear of the runway. And we'll just stop here, throw on the brake. We're going to go ahead and let's go up top real quick. And let's throw on our APU. APU up? Where is it? There we go. APU's firing up. And APU autogen should be on. Alright, good enough. The only reason for wanting to do that is... And I have no idea if this will work. Yep. I have my cutoff switches. Hopefully that will save some fuel. Where are we? There we go. Just for the fun of seeing those engines spool down and listening to it. That's nice. All right, so let's go to views. Let's go to analysis. Let's go to instant replay. Let's back up a few minutes. All right, there we are on the approach. That's hilarious. Haven't watched the landing much. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is where I kind of didn't use the rudder. Let the aileron get away from me a bit. I tried to fight it back on. Definitely off the center line. Off the center line. Nose touches down. Reversers go out. Of course, we don't see the animation in the replay of the reversers. And then off we go. All right, well, there you have it. Our first flight, literally the first flight with the Flight Deck Solutions 777 CDU, working with the PMDG 777. Fantastic first run with it. Super excited. Of course, I think this is going to cause me no end of problems because now I am going to be getting off of my GA kick and probably stuck with these bad boys a whole bunch again. So I got to balance it out to make sure that I keep that Air Hauler 2 series going, as well as get a few more videos of this put out. Well, as I mentioned before, if you liked it, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you again on the next one.